micro feet. With the family of curves trailing behind. He's a red-armed man with a micro mind. His eyes gave out a neon gleam, and his ears extend to yoga beam. His mouth becomes another pulse gate. His heart pumps blood at a video rate. Yeah, his heart pumps blood at a video rate. With the microsecond and microwave and microvolts, he fills his days. And thereby in the course of time, he becomes a micro mind, yeah. He becomes a micro mind. Well, this red-armed man with the passing of the years attained an infinite impedance between his ears, and he finally succumbed to heavy jolts when he got what he thought was a microvolt. And the doc looked up from his microscope, turned to his colleagues and softly spoke. No trace of a brain can I find.
Mrs. Rosenblum, an elderly Jewish woman, has been searching for her son for several years. She is told that there is a guru on the top of the mountain in the Himalayas that can help her. She signs up for an arduous trip with a group of younger people to the Himalayas, and there they will meet the revered guru. The leader of the group says to them,
Yes, the guru lives in that cave over there, but you're only permitted to say 3 words to him. So think very carefully about what it is that you want to say. 3 words.
Get off of me, woman.
each of the hikers travels to the guru, says their 3 words, and returns. When Mrs. Rosenblum returns from the guru, the leader asks her,
So did you see the guru?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and did you just say 3 words to him?
Yeah, just 3.
I'm a little curious. Will you tell me what you said?
Sheldon? Come home!
yes.
Suddenly, a huge wave takes her grandchild out onto the sea.
Wait, I beg, Lord, please, bring it back, it's all I have, please.
Suddenly, the wave brings her grandson at her feet. She's hugging him, she's kissing him, and she looks up to the sky and she says,
Excuse me, they had a hat.
A young older woman was pushing a stroller, and inside the stroller was a toddler, and she was also holding the hand of an older child, a young old child, perhaps 5, 6, maybe 7 years old. She bumped into a friend that she hadn't seen in years, and after they greeted, and caught up? He asked her.
So these must be your grandchildren.
Hey.
How old are they?
Yes, it's wonderful. The doctor is 2, and the lawyer is going on 4.
Oh, it is me. I'm so sorry. We haven't been there in so long. I know. Look, we've both been busy with work, and the kids have their plays, and it's just been craziness. But we'd like to come this weekend.
Of course, but I thought you'd forgotten me. It's been so long. I haven't eaten a bite because I was afraid that if maybe you call, I'd have food in my mouth.
Okay, I'm sorry, but we'll come for Friday night for Shabbos. Is that all right? Nancy said that works for her. Is that okay?
Who's Nancy?
My wife. Wait, is this 404-234-5678?
No, young man, this is 706-340-6618.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Forgive me. I called the wrong number.
Does that mean you're not coming? That is a lovely nose ring.
Thanks.
Now I'll go put my head in the oven.
They were debating about whose son loves them the most.
My son sends me flowers every Shabbat.
Mine calls me every single day.
That's nothing. My son's in therapy 5 days a week, and he only talks about me.
And they were sitting on a park bench, relaxing, kibitzing, whatnot. One of them sighs deeply and says, "Oy." The next one sighs even more deeply and says, "Oy vey." The third one sighs, moans, wipes a tear from her face, and says, "Oy vey schmear." To which the first one replies, "I thought we would agree we're not talking about our children."
Alice, Yannicka, and proceeded to pray. The clergyman entered to start services.
Will all non-Jews please leave?
Abram continued davening. So again, the clergyman said,
Will all non-Jews please leave?
and again Abram prayed. Finally, distraught, the clergyman looked directly at Abram.
Will all Jews please leave?
At this, Abram removed his yarmulke, picked up his tallis, went to the altar, and picked up a statue of Jesus.
Come, Bubba. They don't want us here anymore.
Are discussing what they want people to say at their funeral. The minister says,
I would like to say he was a family man, he was a good man, and he was true to his faith.
the priest says,
I would like them to say I was a good priest, a good leader, and that I was faithful to my religion.
and the rabbi says,
I'd like them to say,
Look, he's moving!
An old Jewish man walks into a Catholic confessional. He tells the priest he's dating a 24-year-old beauty and former Miss America. And the priest asks him,
When was the last time you made confession?
I've never confessed.
You've never made a confession before?
No, I'm Jewish.
So why are you telling me?
You don't understand, Father. I'm telling everyone.
her son who was converted to Christianity.
Oh, Rabbi, I don't know what to do. We brought him up in the faith. We gave him a bar mitzvah, and we sent him to a very, very fancy educational and university kind of thing. And what does he do? Just last week, he comes and he says, I'm going to be a Christian. What do we do wrong?
Funny you should ask me. I, too, brought up my son in the faith, sent him to a university, it cost a fortune, and he returns and tells me he, too, wants to be a Christian.
So what did you do?
I turned to God for the answer.
And what did God say?
Funny you should come to me.
Jews didn't want to leave until the Pope challenged them to a disputation to prove that they should remain. The synagogue sexton Moishe volunteered, but because he didn't know anything but Hebrew, they agreed to a silent debate. The day of the debate came, and they went to St. Peter's square to sort out the decision. First, the Pope waved his hand around his head, and Moishe pointed firmly at the ground. The Pope, in some surprise, held up 3 fingers. In response, Moishe gave a middle finger, and the crowd started to complain. But then the Pope thoughtfully waved them to be quiet, and he took out a bottle of wine and a wafer, holding them up. Moishe took out an apple and held it up. And then the Pope, to the people's surprise, announced,
I concede this man is too good. The Jews can stay.
Wow.
Later, the Pope was asked what the debate had meant.
Well, I waved my hand around my head like this to show that God is everywhere. He pointed to the ground to show me that God is right here with us. Well, then I showed him 3 fingers, of course, for the Trinity. He showed me 1 finger, and it taught me that there's only one God. He's right. So then, I gave him the wine and the wafer to show him God's forgiveness. And he held up an apple, and he showed me original sin. The man was brilliant. He was a great debater. The Jews need to stay.
In the Jewish corner, Moishe had the same question put to him by his fellow Hebrew speakers, and he answered,
It was really kind of silly. First he said that all the Jews had to be gone. And I said, we're not going anywhere, we're staying right here. And then he said, you had 3 days to get out, and I told him what I thought about that.
But what about the apple?
Well, then we had lunch.
An airplane, and again, the engine fails. The pilot comes out of the cockpit and says, excuse me, this plane's going down, I'm taking my parachute, bye, there's 2 more. Jumps out the back.
I'm sorry, but I'm the pastor of a big mega church here. I have tens of thousands of followers all around the world. They watch me online, they watch me on the TV, and they have declared me to be one of the smartest pastors in the whole world. So I do apologize, but I'm taking one of these parachutes.
My dear, I'm an old man. You have your whole life in front of you. You take the last parachute.
Oh, that's okay, Rabbi. The smartest Pope pastor in the world just took my backpack.
We are now approaching the conclusion of our history of Jewish humor. So I think it is fitting to acknowledge that actually, right now, we are all living through a really remarkable chapter of that history. As we all know, 6 months ago, Russia ruthlessly invaded Ukraine, catapulting a Jewish comedian, Volodymyr Zelensky, to international fame as a symbol of democracy, of freedom, and of heroism. Now, Zelensky was actually already famous in Ukraine as a comedian and as the creator and the star of a TV series called Servant of the People. It was about a high school history teacher, just a regular schmuck, who had created this viral video about the corruption of the Ukrainian government, and then somehow ended up getting elected president of Ukraine. And then 4 years later, Zelensky had to stop the show because, improbably, he really was elected president of Ukraine in real life. Zelensky embodies the fact that Jews have always known that humor isn't just a source of incredible pleasure, but also can be a means to achieve real, profound social change. As Zelensky himself recently said, humor is a weapon that can destroy the man of marble. And as Gary Steinstalt who is a novelist, has said, Zelensky exemplifies the idea that, what does he do? I'm going to get this right. The good old Gary. He hates it when I misquote him. Zelensky has shown the world that Jewish comedians are not to be trifled with. Beneath all the laughs, they have backbones of steel. So we would like to dedicate this performance to Volodymyr Zelensky, to the people of Ukraine, and to all the people throughout history who have suffered intolerable injustice and prejudice and have faced it with laughter. Thank you very much.
If you should see upon the street a man equipped with dapple feet, with a family of curves trailing behind, he's a red-armed man with a micro mind. His eyes gave out a neon gleam, and his ears extend to yoga beam. His mouth becomes another pulse gate. His heart pumps blood at a video rate. Yeah, his heart pumps blood at a video rate. With the microsecond and microwave and microvolts, he fills his days. And thereby in the course of time, he becomes a micro mind, yeah. He becomes a micro mind. Well, this red-armed man with the passing of the years